What a sad week for the doll community. Hi, I'm Chris, and welcome back to the channel. So, if you are in the world of dolls, let alone in the world of Barbie, then you know the news that Mattel laid off about 120 employees, including senior Barbie designer Bill Greening. Bill Greening has been a huge staple for especially millennials like me for the world of Barbie, with lines like Jam and Glam Barbie, Cool Clips Barbie, Picture Pockets Barbie, and including a lot of lines that he did involving the Barbie movies, like Barbie Princess and the Pauper and Barbie as Rapunzel. He will later on go to become more of a Barbie collector's designer. A lot of his designs I just think are so gorgeous. So I wanted to honor him with doing my personal top 10 designs by Bill Greening. So I do have to preface that when I was coming up with these as well, I was trying to think of things where I looked at it and I thought, he definitely designed these on his own. So I try to stay away from when he did things like reproductions. And I try to stay away as much as I could with pop culture references or kind of just dolls from a movie, like when he did the Grease Barbies. There's two in this top 10 that kind of break those rules, but I will get into that. So I'm not super versed in Barbie. Don't let these behind you fool you and my totally hair shirt. I'm like mid. So I had a few sources to help me figure things out, like BARBIEPEDIA, and then I watched videos by Dolls to Remember and Beauty Inside a Box to help me also figure out which dolls I'd like to talk about. And if you don't really love how I organized this list, if you don't like the ones I chose, please, Barbie fans, just please remember,
that's my opinion!
And with that, I hope we can live in peace and harmony. I do want to give some honorable mentions. The brand new Style by Design one that just came out, I think is really, really cool. I also want to mention, for another honorable mention, the Happy New Year doll. And the reason I'm mentioning as a honorable mentions because I realized that a lot of my top 10 were just different collections, and this is just one individual doll. And then the pink on the green is another honorable mention because I actually gifted this to my mother 10 years ago because my mom is a blonde woman that plays golf. So number 10, I actually had these dolls for a hot second, and now I kind of want them back. I kind of just sold them for, I don't know why. But he did anniversary dolls for Christy, Teresa, and Midge. So many dolls that celebrate the anniversary of Barbie in all different variations of black and white stripe to resemble her swimsuit, but we never really got anything for her friends. And when I was a kid, specifically Christy and Teresa were always in the commercials. There was always lines. I remember like going into the pink aisle and there would be Christy and Teresa, and I always kind of gravitated towards Teresa because she had brown hair. Probably was my same reason why I liked Belle so much as a kid. I think the way that he designed these, taking the original designs of them, moderating them to be these very chic outfits. Because their color palettes are also, specifically Midge, they're very hard color palettes to really get correct. It's not like Barbie with a black and white stripe. So I think he did a really good job. I think the best out of the three of them is the Christy. I think that her face is so beautiful. Her hair is so perfect. It looks like she's going to Palm Springs with all her gay besties, and she's just living her life. And can we blame her? So number 9 is going to be I call it the Jazz collection. So this is a collection that it's very fussy.
Fussy, fussy, fussy!
Jazz, baby. That's what it was. Quite a few. They are, again, they're from 2007. They're very fussy, very Chicago, very cabaret. I think one of my favorites is the Jazz Diva. I love the cabaret ones and the Master of Ceremonies. I think that this was a really, really fun line. I kind of want them. I'm getting rid of so many dolls right now. I can't buy anything, but I really want them. Number 8 is the Hello Kitty collection. What I love about this collection is just the outfits so scream that these were designed in late 2005, early 2006. And that's what I love about it. It's so specific. Also because in that time in late 2000s, Hello Kitty was such a big thing that it works. It's not a parody, but it's able to kind of exist as that this was such a part of the culture at the time. Bill Greening was really good about understanding what was going on around the time while also appreciating what Barbie always represented in culture and in society. So number 7 is the first Barbie Basics line. I remember these came out, I was a freshman in college, and me and my friends, we all went to the Toys R Us in Times Square when that still existed. And I remember seeing them and thinking, wow, those are so chic. This was kind of towards the end of the time of America's Next Top Model, and it kind of made me, the way that they were displayed really made me think about America's Next Top Model promos. I loved that there were all different skin colors, different hair textures, different face molds. It looked like a real fashion show. The amount of ways that Bill Greening was able to take the little black dress and moderate it and change into all these different concepts, being so clean and chic, really makes this a really great doll line. Especially this diva really stuck out to me. I always found her so fascinating. She looked like a Nubian goddess. A fantastic line. So simple, clean, chic, but it all works together. Number 6 is the vintage style Wizard of Oz dolls. What I remember seeing these and thinking, they're so cute. I like that they only did the 3. They did Dorothy, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Glinda, the Good Witch of the North. I think that the poodle skirt concept of having that embroidery of like Toto or the flying monkeys or the butterflies really captured the essence of like the vintage 1950s that the original Barbie put in. And it works for the Wizard of Oz because that's, I think, one of the first movies when people think of old Hollywood. So it's just really smart. I really want them so bad, but they made so many Wizard of Oz dolls that I want, and I can't buy them all because I have no money. So I know I really only talked so far about collector dolls. This is, I think, is this? Yeah, this is the only Playline collection that I put in, and it's the Barbie Princess and the Pauper dolls. But I think it's because out of any of the Barbie movies from this time, I find this one the most enjoyable because it's a musical. I think it's just kind of the one that everyone will always talk about compared to any of the others. It would be Barbie Princess and the Pauper. I love the designs of Annalise and Erica. And I remember this commercial would air when I was like towards the end of my time of watching Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. I was 13, I think, when the movie came out, but I still was just like, wow, I want to watch that. That looks so fun. I really love pink and I really love blue, and I love pink and blue when they're kind of together, if that makes sense. So the idea of Annalise and Erica together, I think they're so pretty. I think they're the best designed of any of the Barbie movie characters. Number 4, the Pop Life collection. There's only 3 in this line from what I gathered, and a Ken. And these are so cool. They remind me of Paco Rabanne's designs. Very, very 1960s, very mod. I just think this was a really, really good, clean collection. I think every choice made. I love when it's a black and white with a pop of some sort of color, and Bill Greening did a really good job with these. Number 3, the Faraway Forest collection. I remember seeing pictures of them and not realizing that they were Barbie dolls. I thought they were from like some really high-end doll site like Integrity Toys. The designs, the details of these are so beautiful, and I love, like, this is the kind of packaging that I'm obsessed with, and I really would love to like at least see them. I think the like the water sprite, I think that is such a sensational piece, and I've seen people cosplay it actually. My other favorite is the Queen of the Dark Forest, which is kind of just like their excuse to do their own design of something Maleficent inspired. But to me, it looks like Maleficent, but it's able to kind of be its own thing. Those are the 2 best of the Faraway Forest, but overall, the Faraway Forest collection, I think, is very, very exquisite and very perfect for a collector. So number 2 is the Willows, Wisconsin collection. If you're wondering why I deem this so high, it's the concept. Not every single person actually knows the lore of Barbara Millicent Roberts. Remember, I had a friend in college, Rachel, who she was the person to first educate me on the lore of Barbie and how Barbie's from Wisconsin, and that was her full name and everything. When I found these Silkstone dolls called the Willows collection, I thought, that's such a smart idea for people who really care about Barbie, because there isn't a lot of media that really talks about Barbie's backstory in that way. I love the idea of her being homecoming queen or going to Pop's soda shop. That's my favorite one, the Pop's soda shop one. And then this cute cherry pie picnic Barbie that Margot Robbie actually wore as one of her outfits for the press tour of the Barbie movie. It's great that they did choose to do the vintage Barbie face of this, because it does feel kind of like a prequel to what would end up being Barbie existing in the world. So my number one, maybe this is controversial of me to say, but I think Bill Greening's best designs he ever did for Barbie were the Haunted Beauty line. They are goth but glamorous with like a little bit of humor, kind of like the one that has a book that says "Welcome to the Scream House." Perfect. I love that. Same with the Faraway Forest collection. I never have known that these were just from Barbie, because we have this stereotype of Barbie just kind of being like this pink, fun playline doll, and that she could be truly anything. And so the gothness of these, I think, is so exquisite. My personal favorite is the Zombie Bride of any of them. This is so high on my list. It's like the closest we'll ever get to a Corpse Bride doll besides Monster High's. It does seem like they exist because Monster High was doing so well. I don't think that Barbie would have ever done this if Monster High weren't a success. So for me, this is, I think, Bill Greening's best. Bill Greening, thank you so much for your work that you've done on Barbie, and also to all the other 120 people who have lost their jobs with Mattel. We are very thankful for the work that you have put in, and I am manifesting good things for everybody, because I think we all deserve work. What is your favorite Bill Greening doll? Comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe.